Good afternoon, everybody. So I was thinking about the last time COMTO met in Baltimore. Does anybody remember when? And I was your consultant. I helped to bring this conference here. I did the video. Ron Freeland, I believe, was an officer who was in charge of Baltimore City. And so I was your consultant helping to pull together this conference. So I am excited to see you all back here in Baltimore while I'm the mayor. And so I have such an affinity for this organization. And let me just talk to you all a little bit why. One, our airport is run by one of the most renowned transportation people in the nation, Ricky Smith. Is he here? And I do know that I have the best transportation director in the country, Michelle Pugh. You all gave her an award. She is outstanding. But let me tell you how important COMTO is. So I was doing a national search. I wanted to make sure that we got the best and the brightest. And so I used all the big organizations and everything, and I met people from all across the country, and I kept saying, no, not the one. No, not him. No, not her. No. Hey, Ricky. How do I get in contact with COMTO? Because I need to make sure I get the best and the brightest. And so it was Ricky Smith who said, let me turn you on and let me make sure you get the best. In fact, Ricky made recommendations as it relates to the individual who I ultimately chose. But again, I want to say thank you, Ricky, and thank you for being my friend, and thank you for being the great transportation person that you are. You know, I'm here with one of the greatest congresspersons in the world, and hopefully you'll get a chance to hear from him, and that's Congressman Cummings. What is so good about being in this position when you have somebody like Congressman Cummings in place is that you can talk about how important transportation is, and he gets it, and why transportation dollars nationally are important for us in our city. You all know we were about to get a subway system. We had gathered some $900 million, and somehow it went back to Washington, D.C., but in Baltimore, we've not given up. Because we know that transportation makes a difference in terms of how people get to and from work, entertain themselves and others. And that's why I'm so glad to see all of you all here. But let me remind you all that infrastructures throughout this nation have to be reinvested in. And urban centers are important. And the data will tell you that people are running back to cities because they realize that they're so close to so many things that people want to do. But transportation has to be right. And we've got to make sure that cities across this nation are connected, but you all have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to make sure that those contracts get disseminated among African Americans, other people of color across this country. If you don't know who's in the business, go find them. They're out there. They have capacity. They have capability. And if you don't choose them, they don't get chosen. And the reality is that we have a responsibility to increase opportunities economically across this country, to be more diverse, and to be more inclusive. Again, if you all don't do that, it doesn't happen. So I want to make sure that you all understand your roles and your responsibilities. I know that you do, but it's always good to have someone stand in front of you and reinforce what you already know. So I know you all have a lot of work to do because you understand the significance of transportation. And we're doing some great things in our city. And I want to take a moment to say thank you for presenting our own Michelle Pugh, with the award because she is more than deserving. We have great expectations of her. You know, when you think about transportation today, you know, when we were young, you know, you just ride a bike down the street. Now you got to have bike share and all those other programs, and you got to make sure you're doing bike lanes in a way that you're not infringing upon neighborhoods and communities, and you're making sure that those communities are still safe. Lyft and all those other companies have now come into play, and they have a role as it relates to transportation, and now we got the bird. But everything must be regulated, and it must serve us in such a way that we're serving the citizens of the cities, the states in this country. I get excited every time I hear about opportunity because I think about wealth sharing and that you're going to be creating wealth in neighborhoods and communities throughout our city, our state, in this country. So I ask you all to continue to work together, to lift up our communities, and to make sure that you're sharing opportunities. So I know that there are going to be many robust conversations taking place. Having been the consultant for you all many moons ago, I know how intense this conference can be. But let me leave you with this, because this is as important. I want the plates to stop clicking just for a moment. This is really important. You've come to spend time in Baltimore. We appreciate you. While you spend time in your workshops, listening, learning, and sharing, please don't forget to leave out this building and spend some money. That's important. Bless you all. Thanks for being here.